Okay. So have you ever had that feeling where you have like a lot of stuff, but you still feel kind of poor?
Poor, like, not financially.
Yeah, not financially, but like in some other way.
I think I know what you mean.
Well, that's the feeling I had, at least before reading this book, The Power of Enough by Elizabeth Husserl.
Oh, yeah, great book.
Really changes how you think about wealth, right?
Totally throws out, like, the old definition of wealth and dives into something way deeper.
Exactly. And it starts with this idea that, money isn't good or bad.
Yeah, it's like a mirror, right?
Yeah.
Reflecting our inner world.
Our values, our beliefs.
Exactly.
So it's not about like, demonizing money.
Right.
It's about understanding what our relationship with it,
So nice, yeah.
says about us. Like, for example, someone who's always chasing the next big purchase,
Oh, yeah,
that might reflect like, I don't know, a deeper need for validation or something.
definitely, yeah. And Husserl calls this the abundance-scarcity cycle,
Oh, yeah, the cycle.
where you're just constantly chasing more, 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 thinking it's going to fill this void.
But it never really does.
It never really does. You're just, running on this hamster wheel
Oh, that's a good analogy, the hamster wheel.
and you're not getting anywhere. You're just getting tired,
Yeah, just getting more tired.
more exhausted.
It's like the classic like retirement dream, right?
Yeah.
People sacrifice their present happiness for this future financial freedom.
Future promise.
But then when they get there,
What happens?
they feel lost.
They don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah, exactly. The book makes you question all those assumptions we have, like those societal assumptions.
For sure. Definitely challenges the status quo.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't just leave you hanging.
No, it gives you something else.
It gives you something else, this idea of embodied wealth.
Oh, yeah, embodied wealth,
And it's all about shifting the focus from those external things,
like money and possessions, all that
all of those external things,
validation,
validations to internal satisfaction,
internal satisfaction.
like nurturing your body, heart, mind, the whole you.
So it's like saying true wealth comes from within.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the value, the inherent value
Of what?
of experiences, relationships, personal growth,
All those good things.
all those good things. And think about it this way. You could have all the money in the world, right?
Yeah.
But if you're neglecting your health,
You're not really wealthy.
or if you feel totally disconnected from your loved ones,
You're missing out on something.
can you really say you're wealthy?
Not really. And I love how the book talks about, actually, there's this exercise. It's called Fill Your Cup,
Oh, yeah, fill your cup.
where you basically like take a moment to notice the little things that bring you joy.
Throughout the day.
Little things.
The small stuff.
The small stuff, like just having a cup of coffee in the morning
Right,
or a good conversation with a friend,
right. It's about retraining yourself to find that satisfaction.
instead of constantly seeking it from external sources.
Right. It's a powerful shift.
And this leads into how the book talks about needs, right?
Yeah.
Not just, financial needs, but all sorts of needs.
Needs in general.
It encourages us to accept those needs
Instead of seeing them as weaknesses.
and as natural, right? Part of being human.
Exactly.
And this is where it gets really interesting because Husserl dives into how we actually satisfy those needs.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It's really interesting. And she has this way
right.
of categorizing different types of satisfiers.
Different ways to meet those needs.
So like there are the good ones, the healthy ones, the helpful ones.
Of course.
But then there are these like pseudo satisfiers
Right.
that give you like maybe temporary relief, but they can actually be harmful in the long run.
Yeah, you're just masking the need.
Yeah, you're not really getting to the root of it.
Yeah.
And it really makes you think, are you truly meeting your needs?
Or are you just avoiding them?
Or just kind of, putting a Band-Aid on it? And then, get this, she also talks about this idea of financial DNA.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the legacy of money beliefs and behaviors we inherit from our families.
Yeah, our family history
It's fascinating, right? It makes you realize how much our upbringing,
shapes our financial decisions.
even if we don't realize it.
Totally. Like, if your parents were always stressed about money, you might carry that anxiety into adulthood.
Even if you're financially secure.
It's crazy how much it affects us. And Husserl even shares her own personal story
Oh, really? What about,
about inheriting this sense of loss from her grandfather.
oh, wow.
Yeah, it shows how deep these family histories go.
Makes you think, what kind of financial baggage are we all carrying around
We probably don't even know it.
without even realizing it? So much to unpack there.
So you know how we were talking about the book having all those practical tools?
Yeah.
There's this one exercise that really stood out to me.
Okay, which one?
It's called the clearing with money dialogue.
Clearing with money, what is that?
Basically, it's this guided visualization where you actually like have a conversation with money.
With money,
Yeah.
as if it were like a person.
Yeah, yeah, like sitting right across from you.
So, like, I should pull up a chair and be like, money. Right.
You could use a chair or just visualize it.
Okay.
The important thing is to tap into like that emotional energy around money
Mm.
and just let it all out, all those frustrations.
So I could be like, money, why do you always seem to disappear?
Exactly. Express those raw emotions, those anxieties,
Yeah.
maybe even gratitude.
And then what? Does it talk back to me?
Well, not literally, but that's where the magic happens.
Sure.
After you've gotten it all out, you switch roles and try to embody the perspective of money.
So, like, think like a dollar bill.
More like try to understand the energy of money.
Oh, okay.
You know, you could ask yourself, if I were money, how would I respond?
That's interesting. I could see how that could give you some new insights.
Yeah, it can be really transformative. Sometimes just giving a voice to those unspoken emotions helps us see things in a different way.
Mm. I'm a little skeptical, but also I kind of want to try it. What about you? Have you tried this clearing with money thing?
I have, and it was really insightful, actually. I realized I had some pretty deep-seated fears around money I didn't even know about.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
like it gets to the root of those beliefs, those patterns.
Exactly, yeah. And it ties back to what the book talks about with needs and satisfiers, you know?
Right.
Husserl really wants us to move beyond just identifying our needs to
Mhm.
actually figuring out how we're satisfying them.
Yeah, yeah.
And if those strategies are actually fulfilling.
Because we could be meeting a need, but in a way that's hurting us in the long run.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't know, stress eating a whole bag of chips
Oh, yeah.
might temporarily satisfy that need for comfort, but it's not a great long-term solution.
Okay, that one hit a little close to home, but
Then you get the idea.
I do. And the book actually have a whole framework for like different types of satisfiers.
It does.
And it makes you realize, oh, maybe I'm not actually serving myself with how I'm meeting this need.
Yeah. It's about being more conscious of our choices and making sure they're really aligned with what we want.
Aligning with our values. Speaking of, there's that visual in the book, the wealth mandala.
Oh, yeah, the mandala?
You see that?
Beautiful, isn't it? Like this map of all the different parts of our lives.
That contribute to our sense of wealth.
Exactly. Way beyond finances, it's got things like vitality, creativity.
Connection, transcendence even.
Yeah, it's a holistic view. It's saying wealth isn't just about money.
It's about like the richness of our experience.
Yeah, the richness of your whole life. And it reminds you that we need to nurture all those different areas.
Not just one.
Not just one. Can't expect to just focus on one thing and feel truly wealthy.
Right. It's all about balance.
Finding that balance.
And it goes back to like the idea of enoughness.
It does, yeah.
When we feel fulfilled in all these areas, then we're less likely to get caught up in that chase for more.
Constantly wanting, yeah. It's about recognizing the abundance that's already there.
Appreciating what you have.
Exactly.
So how do we actually cultivate this sense of enoughness?
Does the book give us tips?
Yeah, does it have any practical tools?
It does. One thing Husserl suggests is a satiation journal,
Okay.
where you just take a few minutes each day to reflect on what brought you satisfaction.
Kind of like a gratitude journal.
Yeah, but focused on those moments where you felt really content.
Okay.
Could be as simple as enjoying a good meal.
Connecting with a friend.
Yeah, or experiencing nature.
It's like training your brain to appreciate the good.
Yeah, to recognize it. And over time, it can lead to more contentment.
That less need to seek it externally. I love that. It's so simple.
Simple but powerful. And it leads us to another interesting part of the book,
Which is,
the exploration of our financial DNA.
well, right. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
We did, yeah.
But I want to hear more about this, like how our families shape our relationship with money.
Okay, well, think of it this way. Our financial DNA is like the legacy of all these money stories, these patterns that we inherit
From our families.
from our families, our ancestors even. It's like a blueprint passed down through generations.
So if your parents were always stressed about money, you might inherit that anxiety.
Exactly. Even if you're doing well financially,
Wow.
we might absorb these beliefs about money being, I don't know, scarce, evil, or something to feel guilty about,
Subconsciously.
subconsciously. And these beliefs can show up in how we handle our finances.
It's amazing how much we're influenced by our families,
Yeah.
even if we don't realize it. So if we're carrying all this, how do we break free?
Well, the book talks about this practice called unconditional acceptance.
Unconditional acceptance, what is that?
It's about acknowledging those stories and experiences that have shaped our financial lineage
Okay,
without judgment.
without beating yourself up.
Exactly. Making peace with our financial past and realizing that we can write a new story for ourselves.
Yeah, like, okay, this is where I come from,
Right.
but it doesn't have to define me.
It doesn't have to define your future. It's about reclaiming that narrative.
So, like, does the book give us any specific ways to, like, explore our financial DNA?
It encourages us to have conversations with our family
Oh, interesting.
about their experiences to uncover those hidden stories.
Kind of like digging into our family history, but with money.
Exactly. And it can be really eye-opening
Yeah.
because sometimes just by understanding those stories, we can release any judgments we're holding.
Mm-hmm.
It's about recognizing that our ancestors did their best
With what they knew.
with what they had.
And then we can appreciate our own journey more.
Yeah, it's about perspective. Now, we've been talking a lot about the mental and emotional aspects of wealth,
Yeah.
but the book also gets into something called the money life world.
Money life world.
Yeah, think of it as your unique experience of money through your senses.
My senses.
It's about how money makes you feel in your body.
So, like, if I get anxious when I check my bank account.
Exactly. It's about paying attention to those physical sensations. Maybe you feel excited when you're about to buy something.
Or dread when you think about paying bills.
Exactly. It's like your body's giving you feedback.
Oh, wow. So how do we actually connect with this money life world?
Well, the book suggests using a somatic approach.
Somatic.
It means bringing awareness to the felt sense of our experiences with money.
Okay.
So that could be practicing mindful spending,
Okay.
noticing your physical reactions when you talk about money, or even like engaging in movement practices to release tension.
Oh, wow. It's adding a whole other dimension.
It is. And by doing this, by incorporating our bodies, we can make choices that not only make sense logically,
But also feel good.
feel good in our bodies, yeah. Create a financial life that feels nourishing.
Yeah, it's like that sweet spot where your mind and body are in sync.
Exactly.
And it makes me think about, like, self-compassion,
Oh, absolutely.
especially when it comes to finances.
It's so important. And the book emphasizes that we all make mistakes.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's about approaching our finances with curiosity, willingness to learn.
And being gentle with ourselves. We're all on a journey.
Yeah, we're all learning. So if you had to pick one thing, what would you say is the most important message of the book?
Ooh, that's tough.
I know, right?
But I think it's that true wealth isn't about how much money you have.
It's about how you experience your life,
It's about enoughness.
nurturing your body, heart, and mind, embracing the abundance that's already there.
It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have,
Recognizing that we're already worthy.
and that we deserve a rich and fulfilling life.
And when we embrace that, then we can start to make choices that support our well-being.
Create a financial reality that aligns with our values.
It's about realizing that we have the power,
To create a life of abundance.
internally and externally.
That's pretty powerful. It sounds like this book, The Power of Enough, it's more than just about money.
It is. It's a guide to living a more fulfilling life.
And there's still more to uncover.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even talked about the idea of recognizing our financial power,
Oh, right. And how we can use it to make a difference.
doing a positive impact on the world.
That's right. We'll have to save that for next time.
For the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so last time we were talking about that money life world thing.
Yeah, how money makes us feel, physically.
Right, in our bodies. And now I'm really curious about this idea of using money to, like, create positive change.
To make a difference in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not all about us, right? Husserl makes this point that money can be a tool for good.
Beyond just our personal stuff.
Beyond ourselves, exactly. It's about recognizing that we have this power, this financial power.
And being intentional with it.
Exactly.
So, like, are you saying our spending choices are kind of like votes?
In a way, yeah. Every dollar we spend is supporting something.
It's supporting the kind of world we want to live in.
Right. It could be supporting local businesses.
Or, like, investing in ethical companies.
Yeah. Or donating to a cause you care about.
It's like, I don't know, conscious consumerism.
Yeah.
But bigger, right?
It's more than that, yeah. It's like you said, it's about being a conscious contributor.
I like that, a conscious contributor.
Aligning your spending with your values. Making choices that benefit everyone.
Not just yourself.
Right, exactly.
That's where the real impact is, I guess. It's not just about accumulating wealth for ourselves.
Right. It's about using it to make a difference.
And it's almost like we have to take responsibility for that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. The power that comes with money.
Stepping into that role.
Being conscious stewards of our resources. And that can be a really good feeling.
Empowering. It is inspiring to think about how, like, our financial choices can ripple out
They do, yeah.
and create change. And you know what? That kind of ties back to this whole idea of enoughness, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. When we're so focused on getting more, it's easy to forget about the bigger picture.
But when we have that feeling of enough,
We're free to think about how we can use what we have to help others.
it's like when you're not consumed by your own needs, you have more space to give.
Exactly. It's about shifting from scarcity to abundance, to generosity.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the power of enough,
Yeah.
what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listeners with?
That's a good question. I think it's this. What would it mean for you to truly embrace the power of enough? Like, really think about it. How would your life be different?
If you shifted from that scarcity mindset to one of abundance,
And how would you use your resources to make an impact on the world?
those are some big questions,
Big questions, yeah.
but important ones too.
It's an invitation to think differently, to be different, to live differently.
More content, more purposeful.
And that's what this book is really about, isn't it? It's not just about managing your money. It's about living a life that feels meaningful.
A life that feels rich in all the ways that matter.
Exactly.
So it's safe to say The Power of Enough is a must-read for anyone who wants to,
Change their relationship with money.
yeah, and create a life of true abundance.
It's a game changer, for sure.
So to everyone listening, if you're ready to, really dive into these ideas,
And explore the power of enough in your own life.
pick up a copy of this book. You won't regret it.
And remember, like Husserl says, that power is already within you.
You just have to recognize it
Yeah.
and choose to live in alignment with it.
That's it. That's the key.
That's a great note to end on.
I think so, too.
Until next time, happy deep diving, everyone.